fixed the fines and costs. It's just a matter of people showing up so we can get things going.
Fix the.
It was starting to sprinkle on the way in. I'm looking at these gray clouds rolling past the second story windows.
Oh yeah, I know. It was on
Holy
my way in.
smokes.
It was black clouds all the way to the west. I mean, it was scary. I'm thinking, I'm glad I'm getting out of Ann Arbor, but it never rained.
I didn't look at the weather this morning, so I didn't know what we were expecting. After Friday's rain, the rain barrel's full again, so.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that's kind of nice. I'm looking on my screen. It says 64. It says rain coming.
Well, we need it. We haven't run the sprinkler yet, so I'll take rain for the grass.
So anyway, back to your house. Is it going to take all week long?
I don't know, because I'm not involved in that part of it. I was only involved in the moving part of it and the picking of colors. So
it still amazes me that they can do the floor by moving your furniture around. You know, it's just, it seems like it's tricky.
They've been in business for a long time. He told Kevin that they know what they're doing. And so
I'm
staying out of it. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am wonderful. This is 210018 SD, State of Michigan versus Brian Harold Juby.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And I'm going to assume that that's your client sitting to your left.
It is. I'm not sure if the court can cite.
Morning, Your Honor.
Just state your name for me, please, sir.
Brian Juby.
And your appearance, I didn't get your appearance for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Raj Shatari appearing on behalf of Brian Juby, who is seated to my left.
Thank you, Mr. Shatari.
Your Honor, I've had a chance to review the PSI report with Mr. Juby. This time, we don't believe that there's any corrections, deletions, or additions that need to be made. It seems accurate.
Court has also reviewed the PSI. And you're indicating there's nothing you want to add? There's nothing that you want to say on your client's behalf before sentence is imposed?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to make a brief statement. Mr. Juby, I know Mr. Juby on a personal level, not in addition to being my client, as he is, employ him. He works for a home. And I could tell you that the incident that we're here in front of the court for is not of Mr. Juby's typical character. He obviously acknowledges that he has a problem. He had a temporary lapse in judgment the day of the incident. And I don't believe that the court will see Mr. Juby before it again. Like I said, it's completely out of character. Mr. Juby's prior alcohol-related incident was, 30 years ago or 22, 23 years ago. So I believe that it has been an eye opener for him. And he's going to, he will do everything in his control to make sure he doesn't end up before the court again.
Thank you, sir. This matter is before the court this morning for sentencing. There was an offense date of 11/23/2019. There was a charge of operating while intoxicated and operating with blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more. On February 24, 2021, your client, Mr. Ryan Juby, entered a plea of guilty to the count of operating while intoxicated. Court accepted the plea and sent Mr. Juby to probation for his PSI. After his interview and testing, the recommendation from probation agent Stephen Hicks indicates that the defendant is before the court on his second drinking and driving offense since 1998. His verbal responses are consistent with his written responses on the needs assessment, suggesting outpatient treatment. The defendant accepts responsibility and claims abstinence from alcohol since the day of the arrest. He acknowledges an alcohol problem, stating, "I need to address the problem." Therefore, probation respectfully recommends that the defendant be placed on probation for a period of 9 months, along with the following. The court will place Mr. Juby on 9 months of probation, assess probation costs of $360, fine of $500, cost of $500, state costs of $50, crime victims of $75, building fund of $20, restitution to Detroit Metro Airport of $165. Mr. Juby shall engage in outpatient treatment beginning within 30 days and submit documentation to probation as directed, that he shall not purchase, possess, consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substance without the approval of the court, with a minimum of once per month testing or as directed by probation. That shall be the sentence of the court. Anything further on behalf of Mr. Juby?
Yes, Your Honor, can we have some time to pay the fines?
Absolutely. So long as he can have them paid during his, I know the PSI indicated that she'll be paid in full at sentencing, but as long as he can have these fines and fees and costs paid during his 9 months probation, the court will be satisfied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
This is 21BL00115COD. That is City of Belleville versus Donovan Shane Laverty. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Better, but not bad.
Better? State your
Better.
name for me, please.
Donovan Shane Laverty.
Mr. Laverty, we're here this morning for your sentencing.
Hmm.
Are you prepared to proceed?
Yes.
You had an opportunity to have an interview with Stephen Hicks from the probation department.
Hmm. Yes.
You have to say yes or no.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. And did he make you aware of what his recommendation to me would be?
I do believe so, yes.
Okay. Is there anything you want to tell me beyond what you told Mr. Hicks or in addition to what you told him?
Really sorry what I did. That was literally the stupidest thing in my life, and nothing really to add to that.
Well, Mr. Laverty, I want you to know I did read the report from the probation department. I also read the police report that's now part of the, that was part of what Mr. Hicks reviewed.
Okay.
I would note further that there was an offense date in this matter of March 6, 2021. You were charged with operating with blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more. You appeared in this court on April 15, 2021, and pled to the reduced charge of operating while intoxicated. The court sent you to probation for alcohol screening and assessment. That was completed by probation agent Stephen Hicks, and he made the following recommendation. He
Okay.
indicated that this is before the court on your first adult offense, that your written responses on the needs assessment suggest outpatient treatment, that you accepted responsibility and claims abstinence from alcohol since March 7, 2021. Although you deny an alcohol problem, the fact that you felt sober with a 0.21 BAC it gave him cause for concern and gives me cause for concern. Indicates that you consumed 2 IPA beers and 1 shot of liquor on the day of the arrest, and that's not consistent with the blood alcohol that you presented with
Yes,
of
ma'am.
0.21. Due to the fact that you deny that you need treatment, Mr. Hicks recommended that you not be placed on probation. But to deter future offenses, the probation department recommends that you be assessed fines, costs, state costs, crime victims fee, restitution to the city of Belleville, and that you complete 48 hours of community service,
Okay.
not being placed on probation. At this time, the court will adopt the recommendation of the probation department, assess fines of $500, costs of $500, crime victims fee of $75, building fee of $20, state costs of $50, restitution to Belleville of $150. That's a total of $1,295. And if you need a payment plan, you can pay over time.
Okay.
We'll also assess 48 hours of community service.
Okay.
And you can contact the probation department if you need a listing of places where you could where you can do the community service unless you already have some place in mind.
Okay. I'll have to contact them.
Okay. Do you have any questions this morning?
With the payment plans, is that just on the website? I can go on there and directly.
You can go on the website. You can go on the website and submit a request for a payment plan.
Okay.
Or you can, your file's going to go back to probation. And if you haven't set one, I don't know how long they give you, but somebody will follow up with you, I guess, if they haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks. Marianne, do you know how long it takes them to follow up?
At least 14 days.
Okay.
No worries.
Any other questions, sir?
No, that's it. That's all.
Thank you very much. That will be the sentence of the court, and probation will be in touch.
All right, thank you. Have a good
Have a
day.
good day. It's Flag Day today.
I wondered because when I go to work, I go past Vets Park and there are a million little flags in the ground. Well, that makes sense.
They are doing a program in the historical park. I think it's at 11 o'clock. If I get done and I'm able to get over there, I would like to be able to be of support. Good morning, Mr. Bowditch.
Good morning, Judge Martin.
Well, Mr. Bowditch, it looks like your client's not due until 9:15.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So I'll step off, and when your client arrives, Marianne will let me know.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. This is 21BL00131BOD, City of Belleville versus Darian Lee Crystal. Appearances,
Ready,
please.
Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch, 45367, appearing on behalf of, and hopefully with Mr. Crystal. Your Honor, today is the date and time set for sentencing in this matter. I've spoken with Mr. Crystal. I've received the pre-sentence report. We have reviewed it. We find it factually accurate, no additions, no deletions, no corrections. We would ask the court to respectfully adopt the recommendations of probation.
Thank you, Mr. Bowditch. Now, there's nothing you would like to add, but is there anything your client would like to say this morning before sentence is imposed?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Bowditch, the court has reviewed the alcohol screening and assessment. And will indicate for the record that there was an offense date in this matter of March the 15th, 2021 in the city of Belleville. That Mr. Crystal, I'm sorry, Mr. Crystal, did you state your name for me, please?
Darren Crystal.
Thank you. Mr. Crystal did enter a plea. The original count was operating with blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more. The plea was entered on April the 15th, 2021 to the reduced count of operating while impaired. Matter was referred to probation for interview. The recommendation from probation agent Stephen Hicks indicates the defendant is before the court on his first operating while impaired offense. His written responses on the needs assessment suggest outpatient treatment. However, he denies a drug or alcohol problem, stating, "I can stop when I want." The defendant accepts responsibility and claims abstinence from alcohol since early May 2021. As a side note, the only concern with that is that when Mr. Crystal was arraigned on March the 15th, 2021, a condition of his bond was that he not ingest mood altering substances. I guess it's up to debate whether or not alcohol is a mood altering substance. In any event, due to the fact that Mr. Crystal denies the need for treatment and reports this offense as an isolated incident, probation is not recommended. Therefore, to deter future offenses, probation respectfully recommends that the defendant shall pay fines, costs, state costs, victim fund fee, restitution to the city of Belleville of $150, and complete 48 hours of community service, not being placed on probation. The court will adopt the recommendation from Agent Hicks, assess a fine of $500, cost of $500, there's crime victims fee of $75, building fund of $20, state cost of $50, and restitution to the city of Belleville of $150. That's a total of $1,295. Mr. Crystal is also to complete 48 hours of community service. Within the next 60 days. If we get to be about 60 days and Mr. Crystal needs more time, please contact the court. Anything else, Mr. Bowditch?
No, Your Honor, I have informed Mr. Crystal if he has a problem securing a place where he could do community service, probation may be able to give him some suggestions.
And did you also discuss with him how to pay the fines, costs, and restitution that have been assessed?
Well, Your Honor, I told Mr. Crystal there would be a possibility he could be put on a payment plan.
He may be put on a payment plan. He can go to the court's website and submit a request for a payment plan, or he can call the court and speak to the collections department.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything
Do you
else, Mr.
understand?
Bowditch?
Yes, Your Honor. Understand, Mr. Crystal?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. We're all set. Mr. Crystal, Mr. Bowditch, have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll see you again at 10 o'clock, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. James is here. Does James have an attorney?
Hi, James, can you hear me?
Yes, how you doing?
Hi, good morning. Fine. Is your last name Page?
Yes.
Okay, the judge will be with you in 2 seconds.
Okay, no problem.
This is 210234 SM, State of Michigan versus James Andrew Page. You state your name for me, please, sir.
Yes, James Andrew Page.
Mr. Page, your file is scheduled for sentencing this morning. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
You've talked to the probation agent and Mr. Hicks made you aware of what his recommendation was to the court.
Yes, he did.
Do you have any additions, corrections that you'd like to make, or anything you'd like to tell me about yourself before a sentence is imposed?
About myself, yes. I mean, I like I told him, this was just a big mess, and I really kind of just took this deal because I just didn't want to deal with this woman anymore, and I hadn't dealt with her in over a year, but I just didn't want to continue back and forth saying he say she say stuff. So I kind of just took this to kind of just get this over with. I'm not a bad person. I hadn't been in trouble before this, and I just want to get it over with and reconcile everything that has happened from this with my family and everything like that. So I'm ready to get this thing going and get it over with.
Thank you for that, Mr. Page. I have had the opportunity to review the report from probation agent Stephen Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, I will indicate for the record that there was an offense date of December 12th, 2020. You were charged with telecommunication services malicious use. You appeared on May 11, 2021 and pled to malicious use. The court refers you to probation, and the recommendation from probation agent Stephen Hicks indicates that the defendant is before the court on a telecommunication services malicious use offense. He accepts responsibility, stating that he may have called her out of her name, but denies, stating, "Bitch, I'ma kill you." The defendant reports having a physical relationship with the victim for approximately 6 to 7 months. He reports having one big argument that led to this offense. The defendant denies having an anger, temper problem, or injuring himself or someone else out of anger. He denies breaking objects out of anger and denies the need for treatment. Therefore, to deter future events, his probation respectfully recommends that he be placed on a period of probation of 12 months with the following: that he pay probation costs, fines and costs, state costs, victim fund fee, complete batterers counseling beginning with 30 days with documentation to probation as directed, and have no contact with Alexis Banks. The court will adopt the recommendation of probation, assess fine of $500, cost of $300, crime victims of $75, state costs of $50, building fund of $20, probation cost of $480. That's a total of $1,425. As discussed during the plea, you are to complete batterers counseling and, as indicated in the recommendation, provide documentation to probation as directed. And you are to have no contact with Alexis Banks, Alexis, last name Banks, during probation, and the court will assess 12 months of probation as previously indicated. Do you have any questions, Mr. Page?
Yes, the 1,425, that has to be paid over the period of the probation.
Unless you're able to pay it sooner, yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Oh, it does the batterers counseling, is that set up by the probation officer, or do I have to
Yes,
find it
you
myself?
contact probation, and they'll get you where you need to be in terms of counseling, okay?
Okay, and then do you know if that costs as well, or is that
That I do not know.
okay, okay.
But do you have a phone number for probation or a way to contact the agent?
I don't, who am I just contact the probation department, or
Correct.
for 31st district, right?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I can just look up the number and give them a call, and
Whoever you've
unless
been
I need to
speaking
call
to
someone
before,
specific.
or who you've received emails from before.
Only Virginia. That, and she's like I think she just was like the secretary or something like that. Just Virginia.
But if you call her, if you contact her, she'll get you where you need to be in terms of getting the batterers counseling schedule.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Page, good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Okay, continue.
Good
Continue.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
What case are you here for this morning?
For Judge Lisa Martin, Stanley Thompson.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just using my cousin. Lab.
Okay.
How do you open it up, cousin?
Good morning.
Square.
How are you?
Hit the where? The square.
Yeah.
See a square at the top of it.
How's the weekend? What'd you do?
My apologies. I was actually in the wrong room.
Saturday and Sunday.
Looks like you had a little something.
They were there 6 hours Sunday. They don't want to change the name.
Oh, okay, they changed the name.
Is that what you're doing for the probation?
Yeah.
I'll check that.
Thank you, sir. This is 21BL00119OD. City of Belleville versus Stanley Thompson.
Yes, ma'am.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Stanley Thompson III.
Mr. Thompson, your file is scheduled for sentencing this morning. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am. But I got a question. I thought the first.
Yes, sir.
The first, like because I took a plea or something like the first time I was on the Zoom.
You did.
And I thought it was over with, where I just had to pay my fine or whatever. And I don't know. I end up, because I was looking to, to pay and all that, and then I end up having to talk to different people and stuff. I'm kind of confused, but.
Mr. Thompson, that was my error. That was not you. You did exactly what you were supposed to do back on April the 15th. I made a mistake. I was supposed to send you to probation and did not send you to probation.
Oh, okay.
So nothing changed. I skipped over a step from April.
Oh, okay.
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 I'm being honest with you about it.
Okay. Well,
So
well, maybe I'm overstepping my bounds when I ask this. Well, just
I'm sorry.
I said I don't know if I'm overstepping my bounds when I ask this. Is it possible I can get my license back since it was there? And because I need them license. I can't start working and getting, trying to get my stuff in order if I ain't got my license. I made a mistake. I need a license, man. Any way to work that in there?
I don't know what the deal is with your license, Mr. Thompson.
They suspended him or something for this. They took him for this incident or whatever until like what they said 8 something. I can get him back or something.
Well, what we'll do, we'll try to. Let me go over kind of where we are now.
Okay.
And then figure out how you can proceed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
As I indicated, when you appeared and entered a plea on April the 15th, the court, I should have sent you to probation so that you could have the interview and conversation that you have had now with probation agent Stephen Hicks. And he indicated that there was an offense dated February 8th, 2021, where you were charged with operating while intoxicated in the city of Belleville. When you appeared, you entered a plea of operating while visibly impaired, which is a reduced charge. Mr. Hicks' recommendation indicates that this is your first drinking and driving offense, that you were honest in your needs assessment, denying that you had an alcohol or drug problem, that you accept responsibility for your actions from February 8th of this year, and that you claim abstinence from alcohol since the day of the arrest. Due to your financial situation, the fact that you denied the need for treatment, Mr. Hicks recommended that you not be placed on probation. What he did indicate was that probation department recommends fines, costs, state costs, victim fund fee, and restitution to the city of Belleville. As we discussed back on April 15th, you'll be fined $100. There's costs of $500. There's crime victims of $75, state costs of $50, fund fee of $20. The only thing different today versus when you were here back on April the 15th is that the city of Belleville is requesting restitution of $150, and the court will assess that restitution. Other than that, there is no probation. There's nothing else suggested or recommended by the probation department. How do you support yourself, Mr. Thompson?
I was, like I said, I was doing Instacart and all that, but now, it's basically my family kind of looking out for me because I ain't got my license right now and they don't want me up under. That's why I was like, I need to try to get my license back so I can start getting back and forth to work, getting my work stuff, but basically it been, between, my cousin, my girl, and my mother, they've been trying to keep me afloat.
And Mr. Thompson, I don't know what the suspension is on your license. I don't know how long of a suspension has been imposed. Did Secretary of State tell you, did you receive something that told you how long it was?
Yeah, until August something. Because I don't even know what I did with the paperwork.
Let me look, see if your driving records in your file.
And my apologies too, I was in the wrong Zoom meeting. I was with Mr. Hicks, thinking I was waiting on you in court. And he like, you in the wrong Zoom. I'm like, oh, man.
Thank you for that, Mr. Thompson. I think we're all still trying to figure out how best to navigate Zoom. Yeah, sir, it looks like you're restricted until August 5th of this year. But there's an indication that you may drive to and from your residence, place of, and during employment. To attend treatment and support group meetings, regularly scheduled treatment for serious medical conditions, probation, community service, and school, must carry proof of destination and hours. So your license is, I'm looking at the Secretary of State report Mr. Hicks put in the file from May the 13th.
They actually,
It's indicated.
I was about to say the police department never gave me my hard license back. They didn't give me nothing back. So that's why I'm like, I can't drive without no type of license on me. So I don't know how would I do that? If
You might want to contact the Secretary of State if there's.
Okay, just contact the Secretary of State. Thank you.
I read you what I saw in the report.
Thank you.
And it doesn't look like you've set up, you'll need to contact the collections department to set up a payment plan for these, the fines, costs, and restitution in this matter, okay?
Okay.
Anything else this morning? Any questions?
No, you know how to go to the collections thing, Keith? All right, and no questions.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 194979 OM, City of Romulus versus Jeremy Marshall Harris.
Ready, Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch, 45367, appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Harris. Your Honor, I apologize. I didn't receive, to my knowledge, any information, any PSIs or anything. I did speak with Mr. Harris on the phone. I believe his information that he has provided for the court is accurate. But beyond that, I have nothing to add.
Thank you. Could you state your name for me, please, Mr. Harris? You're muted, sir.
Unmute. Jeremy Harris.
Thank you. And I'll also indicate for the record that Ian Krasuski is here.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that is the victim in this matter. Sir, do you have video available on your Zoom?
Not at the moment, I don't.
Okay. Today is the day and time set for Mr. Harris's sentencing. This matter was previously scheduled for May the 24th, 2021. Mr. Bowditch appeared. Mr. Harris did not appear. Mr. Harris subsequently contacted the court indicating that his notice date was May the 25th, which is why he had not appeared. The matter was rescheduled for today. Mr. Bowditch and Mr. Harris had appeared on April the 14th, 2021, entered a no contest plea to the sole count of malicious destruction of property in the city of Romulus on November 28, 2019. The matter was referred to probation to allow for a letter to be sent to Mr. Krasuski to submit his request for restitution. And I'll note for the record that the probation department reached out to him and had not, and still has not received any documentation to show the monies that Mr. Krasuski is out of pocket for. No documentation of any bills, invoices, or insurance claims. Sir, Mr. Krasuski, have you submitted something to probation?
I have. I submitted an estimate of what it would cost to repair my vehicle. I did that, I believe, last Wednesday.
It's too late now.
I don't have anything in my file, but what I'll ask Marianne to do is call Virginia at extension 217 and ask her if she has something.
I would appreciate that, Your Honor.
Mr. Krasuski, have you had the repairs done to your vehicle?
I have not. I've been out of town. My work has me out of town probably 70% of the time.
So the date of offense is November 28th of 2019, and you haven't had the vehicle fixed in 2 years?
I did.
I'm sorry, 18 months?
That's correct.
What is the estimate that you submitted to the court?
It is $1,400 and $1,417.
You're saying, I'm sorry, 1417?
Correct, and 31 cents.
Is the vehicle insured?
Yes, it is.
Have you submitted the request, the claim through insurance?
I have not yet.
Do you intend to have the vehicle fixed?
I do, Your Honor. My mom was in the hospital for pretty much most of this year until she passed away. I've been dealing with that and being out of town for work. I honestly haven't had the time.
Mr. Bowditch, do you want to discuss that with Mr. Harris in a breakout room, or are you ready to proceed?
Your Honor, if I could have a moment with Mr. Harris, I would appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Harris, in a moment, we'll be go in, press join, and
Judge, Virginia is searching the mailboxes.
Thank you.
Yep.
I responded to her email that gave me the notice for today's court case. So it may be attached
you,
to that,
sir.
if that will help.
She's looking in the email for it, and we'll send it up.
Judge,
Ma'am?
I'm on the phone with Virginia right now, and she said she hasn't received anything. How did Mr. Curry, I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name.
He
How did
said
send-
he responded to her sending him a notice to appear for today. So if she has an email that she sent to him,
Oh,
his invoice was in response.
sir, was it an attachment to the email? Sir,
Yes,
was it an attachment sent with the email?
yes, it should have been 4 pictures of the invoice
Okay, thank
or
you.
the estimate.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, he said that.
Mr. Bowdish, was that enough time to talk to Mr. Harris, or did you need to go back into the breakout?
Oh, no, Your Honor, we've had a chance to discuss it. Mr. Harris believes that this is an excessive amount and the damage was minimal. But we haven't had a chance to review any of these receipts or estimates or anything like that. I apologize.
Ms. Randolph is still looking for Mr. Krasuski's estimate. It's a 4-page document. She's checking her email for it right now.
Your Honor, not to add to the court's docket, but could we adjourn this matter and give Mr. Harris and I a chance to review these documents?
How long of an adjournment are you looking for, sir?
Oh, Your Honor, 2 weeks, I believe would be fine.
Mary Ann? What does June 28th look? June 28th sounds bad. Why?
Let me
Oh,
look.
I know why. The afternoon is bad, but what's the morning of the 28th look like? Or I'm sorry, I'm looking on the wrong day. Well, nope, that is Monday.
That's fine for you.
June 28th in the morning?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you're open.
June 28th, 2021 at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Mr. Krasuski, I know that Ms. Randolph is looking for what you sent her previously. But you're
Yes,
saying
Your
that
Honor.
you sent it in response to her notice to you of today's hearing.
That's correct.
So I'm looking in the file and I see her notice to you. So we do have a good email. The court does have a good email address for you.
Yes.
So what we'll do, we'll adjourn this matter to June the 28th, 2021. If Ms. Randolph is unable to find the invoice that you sent to her, she will reach back out to you. When the court receives it, locates it, we'll send it over to Mr. Bowdish to review with Mr. Harris, and we'll come back on the 28th and move forward on the sentencing, okay?
Okay.
Satisfactory, Mr. Bowditch?
Yes, Your Honor. Could I go into a breakout room with Mr. Harris only briefly, just to give him my information, Your Honor? Make sure he has my
Okay.
phone number and everything.
Marianne will move you. Oh, you should be able to rejoin that breakout room. Other than that, we're all set with Mr. Harris, and we'll see you back on the 28th. Mr. Krasuski, we'll see you on the 28th, okay, sir?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 211627FY, State of Michigan versus Deontay Amir Walton Wright. Mary, I'm gonna move Mr. Walton Wright back into the breakout room,
Okay.
right back into the waiting room. He seems to have some audio issues, but I will note that there's 21BL00090OD. That's City of Belleville versus Owen Alexander Moynihan, Moinicken. This matter was scheduled for sentencing this morning at 8:45 a.m. It is now 10:10 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear in response to the notice to appear for sentencing. Bench warrant shall issue. I'm sorry. Correct, I'm sorry. Bench warrant shall issue. See if we can get Mr. Walton Wright back in.
Your Honor, just for clarification, would on the 28th be a restitution hearing or a sentence? Or both?
It would be a sentencing because the restitution was to be determined by probation. That was what part of the plea was. The basis for the no contest plea was a civil liability. So we are going to do the sentencing and address restitution on the 28th.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's been all mine. Mr. Bowdish, have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Walton Wright? Marianne, I'm going to remove him completely and see if he's able to rejoin
Okay.
and connect by audio. Thank you. Recalling 201627 FY State of Michigan versus Deontay Amir Walton Wright.
Yes.
Could you state your name for me, please, sir?
Deontay Walton Wright.
Mr. Walton Wright, this matter was scheduled today for a probation violation hearing.
Yes.
Sir, I received a note from Art Silikowski, the Director of Probation, indicating that you have been non-compliant in terms of making payment towards the $695 that you owe pursuant to the plea that you entered in this matter.
Yes. I currently just end up forgetting about the payments, but I do have money to pay today currently.
You have how much money to pay?
To 400.
Are you going online and paying, or are you bringing it to the court?
I was going to bring it to the court. It was possibly, I was going to possibly try to pay the whole thing because I did.
I'm sorry.
I
can't hear you, sir.
I was possibly going to try to pay the whole thing today, but I do have 400 on right now.
You bring $400 today and then set a payment plan on the balance.
Okay.
I'll send the file downstairs. You can bring the payment. The court officers will help you get that payment processed. If the court doesn't receive payment, you'll get a second violation notice, and the results might be a little bit to your detriment, okay?
Okay.
Anything else this morning?
No, that's it.
How soon will you be here?
Before 1 o'clock.
Okay, I'll send the file downstairs.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
You too.
Mary Ann, I think we're all set. I might leave Zoom up because we have arraignment still, but you can take us off of YouTube.
Okay.